everyone, and welcome to another episode of Checky's Vloggies. I think the reason why my channel's name is Vlog is because I also wanted to do vlog. I am in the mood to tell you guys some of the most embarrassing stories I ever had in my entire life. One of the most embarrassing moments that I had was my first ever plane ride. Imagine that. I'm actually from the Philippines, and I hope that it's really obvious. So that I can get here in the States, I need to ride a plane. The plane ride that we took, it's not like a one-way ride from the Philippines to the United States. It's actually like from the Philippines to Japan and then to the United States. We all know that before if you do have a flight, you need to be at least 3 to 4 hours early before the flight. But we had so many things going on at the back that we actually got into the airport, like the Naiya airport, 50 minutes before our flight. So basically our flight was like around 9:50 a.m. We got there around 9 a.m. But luckily we were able to check in. My fiance told me that once that we were able to check in, the plane will never leave the country or something like that. They will do their best to page us or something to make sure that they can never leave us behind. That's the first time that I actually got into the airport. I think it was big, and then there are a lot of people in line and stuff. I think that's Terminal 1 or Terminal 3. I'm not quite sure. It actually looks like a mall. But before we were able to check in, of course, we need to give the luggage, right? We were told that you can only have like 20 kilos per bag. But unfortunately, the other bag was like 26 kilo and then the other one was 17. So we need to unpack the other bag and then transfer some of the belongings to the other bag so we can make it even. We can make it like at least 20 kilos per bag. That went well. We were able to check in and stuff, and then at that moment, like it hasn't really gotten into me. Like it didn't sink yet that I'm actually leaving the country and I'm gonna be like going so far away from my family. Like it's like 8,000 miles away from the Philippines, and it's not sinking in yet until I finally got into the airplane. The first flight that we had, Japan Airlines. Oh God, everyone out there is just so nice. All of the stewardess, they're so pretty, really nice, very hospitable. You won't feel intimidated by them. They're just really polite, like really. I was sitting next to another Filipina. She said that she's going to Canada for a tour or for a trip. Can't even remember her name. I'm so sorry. The first thing that I've noticed is that like what I saw on TV, like they do have like TVs in front of you, and then jacks where to put all of your things, and remote and stuff like that, magazines, and of course instructions, like a manual of what you need to do in case of emergency or something. Finally, when I got myself comfortable on the seat, my data was still on, so I'm still connected to the internet. Of course, comments, likes, and everything start coming in. And that's the time that it actually sinked in. I was crying on the airplane with this other lady beside me. I'm not sitting next to my fiance yet because since we got late, we were not able to have a seat where we can be like together. So he was like sitting like 5 seats away from me or something like that. I almost feel like the lady beside me thinks that I got sold to somewhere or to someone else, because I was crying a lot. That's the only moment that it really finally sank in. I think I was crying for like 5 to 7 minutes until my fiance came and asked if I'm okay, of course, and I was like, yes, I'm okay. And then I think I started to not be sad anymore when the airplane starts moving. They did told me that the turbulence is gonna be really painful. Honestly, I didn't feel anything like that. I didn't feel any pressure at all. I don't know why. I think I'm just really excited and nervous at the same time. Of course, by that time, I'm not crying anymore. And I'm like trying to watch a movie. And they do have a lot of movies to offer. And I am into horror films. Something that I should not watch while I'm on the plane. And I haven't seen the It movie yet, like you know the scary clown, the remake of the It movie. That's the movie that I watched, and this flight is a 3 hour flight from the Philippines to Tokyo. I didn't know that I'm gonna be like, you know, I'm gonna be scared at all because I don't think that I'm gonna be putting too much attention to the movie, but after like an hour or something, because the movie is getting more and more intense as it progressed. An hour after the flight, everyone or other people were like sleeping. They were trying to relax, like reading magazines and stuff like that. Oh my! I I just found myself screaming. I screamed on top of my lungs with one of the scene in that movie. And the next thing I know is that there's the one of the stewardess like came next to me. She was like standing next to me and she was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yes." And then everyone, oh my, everyone that is like sitting next to me or like just one chair apart or something was like looking at me. I'm so freaking embarrassed. Like seriously. Oh my. That is my first ever airplane ride. And then I made a fool of myself. I embarrassed myself to all of these people. Oh my. And then after that I actually stopped watching movies and then I just, you know, went at the back, tried to enjoy the scenery. I looked into the window and I look into the clouds. It's amazing. It's spectacular. I also tried to talk to some of the stewardess. I've been telling them that, oh, did you know that it's this is actually my first flight ever. And then she was like, of course, she's so nice and pretty. She smells so good too. She was like, oh yeah, you know, of course she's trying to she responded really nicely. When I got into Japan's airport, this is a really different story. Like the moment that I walked out of the plane, it was incredibly cold. The airport is really, really big. It's really spacious. Something that I really like about that airport is that they do have free Wi-Fi. They do serve really, really good food. Finally, I was able to try an authentic ramen. They do have a lot of sleeping pads there. Like for example, you need to wait 3 hours for your next flight. You can simply just go to those sleeping pads. Like they have a lot. They have options as well. Charging ports and all that. They have all of that. It's really, really amazing. I really, really enjoyed and loved the Japan Airlines. So how about you? How's your first ever plane ride experience? Tell me about it. Write a comment on this comment section below. Well, thank you so much for watching and listening to my story. And you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.